I remember the first time I came here and we did a sketch and then you were like, you want a burger? What do you want? Let's just sit and talk. Like, because there's so many places where you go to where it's very transactional, right? And I think the reason why it's different for you is because you were a comic and also you can talk to anybody. You could talk to somebody with opposing political views than you. You could talk to somebody who is in the Klan. You could talk to somebody that fights against the Klan. When I started working, are we recording? I want this on camera. I want everybody to know this because Vinnie will never say it. He said it a lot in the pandemic, but he won't say it now. And a lot of people don't know this. And I learned this from him talking privately. Didn't take a paycheck. He made sure his staff was taken care of during COVID. When I got here, everybody was taken care of because Vinny was like, "Fuck this! I'm running a club in a circus tent outside, and owning a club like this in Sopranos is like owning a restaurant. Nice. It's owning a restaurant is like owning an elephant. It costs a fortune, and eventually it's gonna shit on your head. And you did not take a salary the entire time I knew you." Because you made sure your staff was taken care of. And I learned the importance of that through going up to some of the staff houses to pick up a hard drive so I can come back and edit some clips of Vicky and Vinnie live. And I did all that not out of a sense of, I'm not going to eat if I don't do this. I did it out of a sense of respect for what you did to keep a place like this open. Thanks, and I get to come back years later. This is my first time inside this club performing.
Yes, it is. And
it is.
By the way, and again, this is going to be a love fest, right? Because we like each other. Yeah. But you murder.
Thank you.
I can see when you're killing.
Right.
Even I can look in your eyes and I know that you're saying, Vinny's influence on me was amazing. And
all the time, yeah. Every single time. He's like Ben Kenobi.
Well, okay, so last night I did one of my favorite gags.
I love it when you go up though. Like watching you on stage, I want to hear about the gag, but I just want to say for the record, Vinny last weekend went up on this, I think Friday or Saturday show, did some time, and then also you fucked with the audience.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Same with like you do, getting them in the crowd. I love that. It makes fun from the time you get in to the time you leave.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm gonna tell you something. All bullshit aside. So the gag
this was all bullshit. We were all bullshit.
This is no bullshit.
That was all bullshit.
But
bullshit.
But here's the thing. I said on stage, Troy, I want to say something from my heart.
Yes.
And I said when I wrote your act for you, which I love doing because and here's the thing. I had you.
Say that shit.
I had you. You were like, oh my God.
I did. I said yes, Vinny. What do you want, Papa?
Yeah, exactly. You were so drawn in. And then when I said it,
because you asked for my name like 3 times. Troy, where are you? And then I came out of the green room. I was like, oh man, Vinny's about to be the father figure he always was to me. He said, you're welcome. I wrote that whole act for you. This is great. Vinny taught me every racial slur I know. I want that on camera.
Now, how long
yes.
have you been doing? You're 10 years as comic.
10 years is standard.
But how long have you been doing? Like, first of all, the act is great, but the crowd work is so fast.
It's all crowd. I mean, like, you know what it's like. And honestly, I learned a lot of it from editing clips of you back in the day of Vic and Vinny. Like, I remember used to saying to my ex-girlfriend, I'd be editing clips of you guys during the podcast, and I turned to her and I was like, you know, one of the things I found remarkable about Vinny is he completes every thought he has. Regardless of how long the thought is, you are in it and then you're out of it and then you feel like you're learning how to talk to them. And that comes from a certain confidence of, I always talk about you dealing with I think it's so, I don't know if irony is the right word, ironic, but I think it's so ironic that someone who's hard of hearing opened a comedy club.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because comedy is not performing, it's listening.
It's listening.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it is.
You going on in front of a crowd of my people, which you could tell, like, are eclectic. It's like a learning annex.
Yeah, you have a
people
great
audience. It's all over the place.
It's everything.
And having you up there, 2 things. There was one, I had everybody in the room. I was like, just watch Vinny go up for 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes before the club. I want this every single time because A, he's been doing it for 30 plus years. B, you understand the formula of what they want at the top of a show, and it takes a lot of pressure off a host. And C, it's using the weakness that people think that you're bestowed upon and turning it into greatness. And that's why I love the fact that your name is all over everywhere that you own something. I'm looking at Vinnie Brandt's Stress Factory Comedy Club right now. That hits emotionally for me.
Thank you.
Because of what you did. I know you personally more than Vinny is somebody who like, I'll talk to Vinny like 3 times a year for an hour and a half on the phone. And then he'll be like, oh, sorry, somebody just burnt a burger. I got to go. I'll talk to you later, Troy. And then I'll talk to him in the fall, and it's like nothing changed.
Nothing. Well, you're an easy dude, but you're so in the moment.
Right.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not just in the moment on stage.
Thank you.
You're in the moment in life, which I really like.
Right.
You said some stuff last week, and I'm like, wow, you're an old soul in a young, bright. I'm telling you, this is the biggest question I have.
Yeah.
Film and TV is next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I in the first movie?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's fair to ask. So, Troy,
I have a part for you.
Oh my God, I would love that. But I see you in SNL. I see you everywhere.
They don't. I've submitted for them 5 times.
Yeah, but they're gonna come to you now.
No, I don't. If they want me, fine. But I have more followers than any of their cast members.
Who do you think? Has anyone told you who you remind them of?
Often Tina Turner is what I get. And like, look at them legs. That's not Bush Shitty Limit. Thanks.
Maybe wait. Let me get someone here.
Turner. I'll beat a bitch up.
Yeah, let me get someone here to give you a good beating. I'll tell you who I see.
Oh wait, never mind. I forgot she died this year. Fuck. R.I.P.
Yeah. Ike is still alive.
Is he?
I don't know.
That guy's gotta be gone.
I don't think Ike is dead.
If Ike outlived Tina Turner.
Did you ever hear Ike Turner died? That would be news.
Johnny Cochran died the day I got molested. I remember that.
Johnny Cochran, you got molested?
The day Johnny Cochran died. And let me tell you, that glove did not fit. That's a real story. I remember 2 things from the day I got molested. A dick going into my ass and Johnny Cochran dying. Those are the 2 things I remember.
All in the same day.
All in the same day. What are the odds?
We
both had very bad days.
Wrong odds. You don't care. Right? You're a wide open book.
I don't care. I'm an open book in the sense of like everybody goes through it. I feel like it's important for people to hear that so they don't feel like I was addicted to crack and I was addicted to cocaine. I was addicted to heroin. I've been molested. I've cheated on every woman I've ever been with. I feel like it's important to put that stuff out there because we live in a society. And I say that with all saying, I'm not perfect. And you need to understand when you come to watch my shows, you're hearing the refinery. Comics are a product of the refinery of their emotions.
Right.
You're hearing all of that come through here. So don't take anything I say seriously. It's not like I'm running a religion. I'm just a guy who was one bank robbery away from wearing a purple suit and cheap white clown makeup.
Right.
Truly.
So I have a very big issue, and that's going to sound wrong because someone's going to see this. No, someone's going to see it and say, But you see, that's the thing. I think the comics shouldn't be trying to preach their political views. Go up, have fun.
I agree.
Okay, let the audience enjoy.
Yeah.
Because very honestly, aren't we all just kind of the dumbest ones in the room?
We all
in
are.
a lot of ways.
We all
right?
are.
So you were addicted to crack.
Yes.
How old?
15.
15?
15 to 18.
15, 18. Heroin, crack.
Heroin was 18 to 23, 24.
How'd you get off?
Buddhism and meditation during COVID.
Are you
right
still
before
Buddhist?
I met you. I would never consider myself a Buddhist. I consider myself who learned what meditation was. And meditation is something that should be taught in schools instead of the presidential fitness test. Because meditation teaches you mindfulness. Right? So what I had to learn was what was it that was triggering me to use drugs? What was it that was making me go to... Every time I did it, I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing it. And you feel like your body's on autopilot doing shit you shouldn't be doing. And it got to a point where you're like, how do I break this cycle? I'm starting to get successful. Maybe I want to get successful. I'm not going to do it if I keep doing this. I started meditating every day, every morning. I would work out, shower, and then as I was showering, I would have a towel on, and I would drip dry, and I would put on Headspace on my headphones, and I would do a 15-minute meditation. Because to get on stage...
Living with your mom.
Yes. Yeah. And breastfeeding. No, this was all during COVID. I was on crack from 15 to 18, stopped doing crack at 18, started doing coke again at 21, just snorting it. And then during COVID is when I got off of it completely because you can't do cocaine in quarantine.
With the mask too, it's so
With
hard.
the mask, it doesn't work out. I had 2 nose holes. I look like Bane going scuba diving. Oh, you think Colombia is your ally? But like, I got off cocaine August 22nd, 2020. Election happens. I post a video. Vinnie calls me.
I love that video.
Remember that video we're talking about? That's how we
Love
started.
that video.
And Vinnie calls me to talk about it for an hour or some change. And then I come to the Stress Factory a week later to shoot some sketches. And that was 3 months of me being off blow and realizing why it's important to be off of it.
Yeah, and now you're drug free.
If you don't count weed as a drug, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't do anything other than pot. I smoke pot, I drink.
But that's legal now. It
Yeah, it's legal. It's in the NJ.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So I've never tried any drug.
I know that about you.
I'm a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
And
or you're just ahead of the curve. I always tell people, they're like, I want to try cocaine. Don't.
You know what drug I would try if I was going to try any drug?
Which one?
What do you think?
I would love to see you on coke just to see. What would you want to try? Acid.
That's the one.
Acid?
That's the only one.
See, your brain on acid could be like Beatles. I feel like you could write a Yellow Submarine.
Well, I was hoping you said Abbey Road, but yeah, Submarine. You know, I mean, it's not their best album.
You know what I love about him is like he sits up and he's like, "Well, I was hoping you were gonna say that," but he's like, "I hope you say something better." But you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Submarine was very Ringo influenced, and I love
Yes,
Ringo.
it was. Yes.
I love Ringo, but
you don't like the movie, the animated movie?
No, I liked
Abbey Road is the great.
Abbey Road.
You can't beat it. That's Come Together, right? That's Abbey
Yeah.
Road. Yeah.
Here's what I look at. The best album is Sgt. Pepper.
Yes.
But the best album half is the B-side of Abbey Road.
What's the B-side of Abbey Road?
Did Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
Here Comes the Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Because You Never Give Me My Money, and down goes through the whole suite.
Here Comes the Sun is a song that doesn't sound as beautiful as it does anywhere else on vinyl.
Yeah.
I just started collecting physical media and I started buying up records.
Yeah.
Hearing Here Comes the Sun on vinyl, I have like a religious experience every time I hear it. That's like music. And you feel it. Like that music is what the country needed after JFK got assassinated. After going through the 60s, this horrible shit of like public political assassinations. They think we live in the worst political time now. In the 60s, we killed everybody who stood up for poor and black
that
people.
mattered.
Publicly, we killed them,
Publicly.
right? And then who did we get as a result of that? The Beatles.
So, is the Beatles your favorite rock band?
It's very hard to beat them.
It's very hard.
It's like Batman, like who's a better superhero than Batman? You can't beat it. Superman, you would say as a Boy Scout, I'm sure.
But Batman, Superman.
Batman's cooler.
Batman is cooler.
Better superhero.
Okay, I'm going to give you that. But Superman has better individual powers.
Yes, because he's like a kid who lives in a reverse autism world. The only reason he flies is because the gravity on Krypton is like 1,000 times heavier than it is.
Still does.
He can fly. Yeah. I know, that's the thing. There's even a Batman joke where he's like, Batman to Justice League. I need to pick up now because I can't fly. Now would be a good time. Now. Right now. I mean, now. You're fucked. I mean, Batman's superpower is money and Jeffrey Epstein. That's where he got the Robins from.
You're a complete geek this way, right? Star Wars, superheroes, all this shit.
Yeah, that was I could blame my dad for that.
And you type your dad now?
The same way any adult man is tight with his dad. Like a handshake from afar.
Is that right?
And you go, like, I'll try to talk to my dad about anything. And then he's who got me into Batman and all that stuff. And anytime we try to talk about our relationship, because I didn't speak to my dad for like 5 years. He kicked me out of the house when I was 17. Right. And anytime I try to talk to him about it or anything, and be like, yeah, it's like Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne, they were better when they didn't live next to each other. I'm like, yeah, but I'm right here, Dad. And we both named Troy Bond. So.
Right.
And he came to both of my shows at Stress Factory in Bridgeport last Saturday.
I met your mom.
And you met my mother. And then she was like, he might be your dad, Troy. But my father, I don't have any kids, so I don't know what it's like. But you understand this more than anyone.
Six times more.
The parental instinct I saw kick in with my dad, where when I was doing the meet and greet outside, he sat next to me the whole time. At first, I thought just to be an asshole, but then after the second show, I was like, oh, he's doing it to make sure nobody fucks with his kid. Like, that's the dad coming over there, like being like, that's the dad, always making sure, you know, like that's, and I have my dad in my life.
Right.
There's so many people who don't, and I've had a lot of ups and downs with my dad, but at the end of the day, I want him in my life. I want both my parents in my life.
That's great.
That's what I would prefer, because I have 2 younger brothers, and I got to set an example for them. I got to set.
What do they do?
One's an ultimate fighter, where he beats the hell out of dudes for a living, and the other is going to school to be a therapist.
Wow, he'll fix both of you eventually.
Both of us. He came to the club at Stress last Thursday in Bridgeport, and my parents were going through kind of a rough patch, and my brother, the 19-year-old, is the one. The youngest one is the therapist. I'm the oldest. Right?
How old are you again?
I'm 27. I got a brother who's 25. He's the fighter. He's the one who he's getting knockouts now.
Now, you get to a theater, which will happen next year, and you can't.
Right, I know.
5 hours, right?
I know. 5 hours. 5 hours.
It's 5 hours.
Yeah.
But what a great thing, because so many guys don't want to meet anybody. They don't want to talk to anybody. And I've watched some really great comics do what you're doing. You know, guys that blew up, social media comics.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're a comic that does social media. These guys are comics that do social media.
Well, I learned how to do that because you used to have me open for those guys who are social media comics who would come in, and then I would get calls and then be like, we need somebody to do 15 minutes of stand-up before these guys come and drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
Do a TikTok noise. I learned through that. I learned the power of those two.
It's amazing.
And I do the meet and greets now because I know one day I'm not going to be able to. And I know that if it's exhausting. Don't get me wrong. It's exhausting to do an hour of a show, then do an hour of a meet and greet.
It's an hour. Nobody doesn't meet you.
2 straight hours. Nobody doesn't meet me. And
it's amazing.
That's the Troy Bond guarantee. If you pay to see me, I'll come out and meet you. You get it because they're coming to see me. And I'd like to think that one day when I get to do theaters, they won't have to pay too much more, and those people will still have to come and meet me. I want to be able to give that opportunity because my dad, when I was a kid, was a wrestler, and he wrestled in the indie circuit, and the indie wrestling circuit is not much different from any comedy circuit.
Right.
And I used to have to watch my dad sign autographs for free when he was a wrestler, make fun of the wrestlers who made people pay for autographs.
Yeah.
And you know the impression that made on me? My dad would go, you're nothing without your fans.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting next to Jimmy Superfly Snuka. 20 years later, his nephew, The Rock, sends me 3 cases of Terramana tequila. That's his nephew, or is through marriage or something, but that's his nephew. The Rock is his nephew. And he followed me on Instagram, The Rock.
I heard that.
And I saw that he followed me. I thought I was having a stroke. And then I followed him back, and we're talking back and forth. And then he sent, the next day I come home, there's 3 boxes of Terramana tequila in my house and a note from The Rock saying, incredible. Thank you for all of your shit talking you're doing. I'm like, oh, I learned it from you when I was growing up because of the lessons I learned as a kid. That's the reason why I do the meet and greet outside. I will take a picture with all of them because if I don't take a picture with one of them and they send me that message saying, oh, I didn't get to meet you, sorry. That does not get out of my head.
Now, a lot of people take pictures of me, but not that.
Always. No,
right?
It's always up your ass.
Oh,
I see him do it. He has a great one. You can't see it.
I have an amazing ass.
It's one of the best.
I'd say
really top 5 of all the Vinnie asses I've seen. Vinnie's with IE, he has the best one. There's Vinnie's with Y's. There's Vinnie's with just the E's. He's got the best one.
I have a rock hard ass.
Well, that's why it works. It's
rock hard.
It's like a Banjo-Kazooie villain ass.
Yeah, but you don't get tired, right? In other words,
no, I get tired when I go home.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, so when someone wants to take a picture with me,
yeah,
I'm always so grateful.
Right.
I'm like,
yes.
Thank you.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel nothing but grateful. I feel grateful that these guys are standing here with me right now, even though they don't have a choice. I know you have a gun to their head and the same ankle bracelet I'm wearing. I feel grateful to just connect with people.
Yeah.
Because so much of what we do online is just connecting with an internet audience. And I guess it's different when you're an influencer that makes it as an influencer and then they have to come to your club. I'm a stand-up who somehow infiltrated the influencer space. Yeah, and so I have 2 responsibilities. Yeah. I got to give them myself and give them an act.
Yeah.
And then if they're not happy with either, at least they'll get a picture with me at the end of the show.
Are you writing a movie now?
3.
You're writing
and
3?
2 sitcoms.
That's amazing.
I'm working on something. Yeah.
That's
Can't
amazing.
talk too much about
Are
it.
you
but
disciplined? Can you write?
as soon as I learn how to read, I'm doing it on wingdings right now.
I know you wrote all your sketches, so I shouldn't even have to
right.
because
Well, we wrote some sketches together.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah.
but you're such a
Yeah.
good. See, I lack a certain discipline.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't do it. I mean,
you think you have ADD?
I know. Probably. It's never been tested, but I think it's also a crutch. Like I'd rather not know. You know, like I was talking to Mitch Hurwitz. I name drop him all the time, and I have to stop. But he became one of my closest advisors and mentors, and he's like a father figure to me. He wrote Arrested Development, created Arrested Development. Golden Girls was a huge contributor on that. Ellen, her sitcom, and he reached out to me months ago, just being like, "I see something in you." The same kind of thing that you said to me. You were like, "Give it 5 years, and you were gonna be it." And he taught me what a writer's room was, and it's what we're doing. Writer's room is just talking, right? And then you have somebody who's in the corner who's writing what you're talking. How many ideas do you have where it's like back and forth on the phone? Oh man, what should somebody have this? Whatever. The writer's room, somebody's in the back with a typewriter, just courtroom stenographer-ing it.
Right.
Once I learned that's what writers' rooms are, I developed the confidence to start writing more than I did initially. Like when I came home Thursday night, Tori couldn't sleep, and I was in my in the hotel room, sponsored by the Stress Factory, just writing my Batman short film. And Tori woke up at 7 a.m. being like, "That's how I know you were gonna make it." Because I looked over at 3 a.m. and there you are, just
Yeah.
And she was like, "What are you writing?" And I was like, "A scene where Batman breaks in and tries to beat up the Scarecrow, but he's in the middle of a therapy session." Like, what else are you supposed to do at 3 a.m.?
Right.
Whatever you're doing at 3 a.m., your competition is gonna be doing it. Probably not as much as you are, but they're gonna be depressed, angry, upset, broke, and they're gonna be doing the job. And so am I, just a little bit better. And you don't compete with anybody other than yourself. You have competition, very few competitors. Truly, if you think about it that way.
Well, the business is so big now.
It's big. Everyone can have their own part.
Everybody can. And, we get in our own way a lot, right?
Always.
But now, this is the best time. Because
Best time.
there's so much. Like,
You saw the boom of the 70s and 80s of comedy, and then the 90s killed comedy, and then the 2000s had to build it back up. And the 2010s, with YouTube and social media growing, created something called an algorithm that gave people a mixtape of comedians that they could pursue and watch whoever they wanted to.
right.
Back in the 90s and 2000s, they were trying to get everybody to watch everything all the time, man. Like, you were there on Last Comic Standing. You saw it when they're trying to put comedy on TV. Don't work that way. Comedy works on the toilet when people are bored and they're trying to not watch a show they don't give a shit about, and they develop a connection with you through that. Comedy is all about connection, and it's also, comedy clubs are really the only place where people have to be forced to pay attention, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, I have to give you a little big brother
please,
or father advice.
whatever one.
Very critical
Let's
advice.
close out the age gap.
Because I'm sensing that in your past,
Yes.
you may have some things that you did that would be cancelable items, but you've outed them already. You've already said what you've done.
Like what?
Crack, heroin, all this stuff, right?
Is that cancelable?
In the wrong.
I
Maybe
think
not.
I'm trying to be vulnerable for people who have done it and feel ashamed.
No,
so they
I don't think
keep
it's
doing it.
cancelable.
If
But
I grab the titty, that's cancelable.
what I want you to add,
Yeah.
I want you to make sure.
Right.
Like, okay, first of all,
Yes.
all right, you're a good-looking guy.
Thank you.
Women throw themselves at you. All right. But I want you to make sure that when they throw themselves,
I
you
catch them
first
pussy
check
first.
their ID. Like, I just look at the ID. All right, you know
I
what?
go 16 Crystalia brand.
Yeah, you can't. Because look what happens.
I know.
So, okay, so that's number one.
Yeah.
All right. And you have to.
I love this fatherly advice. I'm going to be quiet. I love this. Every comic needs to hear this.
You
Number
do.
one, check their ID.
Check the ID.
Yes.
Check the ID.
Number
And
one.
don't do something because you could make.
Yes.
You listen. You most rely as an entity
Yeah.
of Will Ferrell.
Right.
That kinetic energy,
Right.
that
Sure.
taking chances. Like that's
Wow.
what I see, right?
Wow.
And I
Thank you.
never liked Will Ferrell. But let me say, that's a joke. That's a joke. So
Played me like a fiddle.
no, let
It's
me
like
tell
a
you.
fiddle, but with Vinnie. It's a fiddle.
all bullshit.
Yes.
I see Will Ferrell. Oh, I see
Thank you.
that wild.
This is
right?
crazy.
Hmm?
Hearing that from you is crazy. That means
so
a lot to
don't
me.
fuck it up because don't fuck it up because
That's exactly what I was gonna do tomorrow.
wow. Listen,
Fuck.
do you think that let's just say that maybe perhaps Russell Brand, if it turns out that he's screwed up, right? Maybe, I don't know, not commenting one way or the other, all right? But let's just say he did. Don't you wish he could go back in time and go, man, I could have
Yes,
just
they all do. Don't you think Bill Cosby wishes he could go back and unrape at least half a dozen of those women? He's like, I was Bill Cosby. What was I thinking?
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But with Cosby, here's the difference with Cosby.
Yeah.
No, there's difference. There's difference.
Yeah.
Because you're too young to remember. But in the back of all Esquire magazines, in the back of all they always advertise Spanish Fly. Get her in the moment.
And he had that bit on Larry King Live where he's talking about Spanish Fly. Get her in the moment. And he's like, and then he had that thing on the Cosby Show with his barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Do you know what the thing with my sauce? You ever notice people, they eat my barbecue sauce and then they go upstairs and they do a little what's going on? Rudy. Spanish Fly was Bill Cosby. Wasn't that one of his albums? Or one of his biggest jokes?
I don't know.
One of his biggest jokes was Spanish Fly. People don't know that. That was like his one jazz album.
And I'm not giving him a pass.
No,
what I'm saying
we're
is
both calling him a hero. I went to a comedy club. I'm not gonna say where, but they told me that they have a giant mural of Bill Cosby in the women's room, and they were like, "We're getting a lot of complaints." I'm like, "Can't imagine why."
Yeah, can't imagine. But again, I'm not giving him a pass. What I'm saying is, at that time period, that was kind of everywhere. Whereas Russell Brand, you're talking 3 years ago, dude.
Russell Brand thought that he was going to be able to get away with it because he talked about his sex addiction so openly. But here's my take on the Russell Brand thing. It's like when Tarantino was defending Roman Polanski for raping a 13-year-old girl in Jack Nicholson's house, right? Like, there's a different age of consent everywhere else in the country, right? Some people in the world, right? Some places it's 14, some places it's 16, some people's whatever. And I think we were talking about this last night where it's like, okay, cool. Like, culturally, whatever, Roman Polanski as a 40-year-old man might be looking at a 13-year-old and going, we are pedophiles in France. But like, in this country, to quote Jack Nicholson from Departed, in this country, Jack, if you're a 40-year-old man sleeping with a 13-year-old girl, we got a guy named Chris Hansen who comes in there and makes sure you can't work at Subway anymore. Ironically, whose spokesman was a pedophile. Like, it's weird, right? Like, it's weird in the sense that, yes, you can excuse the Russell Brand stuff if you're somebody from a country where there's a lower age of consent. But it's harder to excuse him if you find his voice so fucking annoying like I do. I bought a book called Capitalist Realism, and I couldn't understand it because there were too many big words. And then I bought the audiobook, and Russell Brand narrated it, and I felt so cheated. Because I just listened to his voice the whole time talk about capitalism and it's all this stuff, right? Like, you got me and I was married to Kate Perry, right? And I divorced her without taking a shower for 3 days. And now I'm what's called a socialist and I sit next to Tucker Carlson and all that, right? I was an author. I ruined the whole legacy of the movie. And my hair was sideways. It was like salt and pepper. With salt paprika on one side and Roman Polanski on the other. And I was so stupid at sex. Even Donald Trump said Katy Perry should leave me. And he fucked Stormy Daniels and all that. You know, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford. How bad is sex you have to be Bill O'Reilly and it costs you $32 million and all that. Anything, I'm going to tell you about the economy in Venezuela. He's virtue signaling to make you forget that he slept with a 14-year-old girl. You can't unsleep with a 14-year-old girl.
You cannot do it.
You can't do
back to my advice.
Yes. Don't fuck a 14-year-old.
Don't fuck up.
Don't fuck up.
Check ID.
My Me Too article will be Troy Bond had sex with me and he made me watch Return of the Jedi after and explain to me why it was different from the original version that came out in 1983.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
It's not about Vietnam, is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
The original trilogy, yeah.
Did he say that?
To James Cameron.
I didn't hear that.
And James Cameron went, oh, fuck yeah. And Pocahontas is Avatar. And so was the second one. And the next 4 ones I'm about to make that nobody asked for. The first 3 Star Wars movies were Vietnam.
Did you watch Ted Lasso?
I didn't. I heard it's like great ice cream for the brain.
Ted Lasso
is Mitt Romney's cum material.
No, Ted Lasso is Mary Poppins.
Really?
I think so.
Maybe I gotta watch it then. It's over, right? They just wrapped
it
up.
Yeah, he comes in. It's magical.
He's just there, and he's got a stash, and he goes,
everything's fixed, and he leaves.
Hey, this is what happens when your wife leaves you for Harry Styles. You become a soccer coach.
Right, but the thing is, when he leaves, everything's fixed.
You kind of like Ted Lasso. You ever think about yourself that way?
No.
You should.
Well, I mean, I'm not that good. I'm not.
I think so.
Well, that's because you like me. I think I'm. I can't. If I had to put myself in some type of...
Yeah, who would you say you are? You say you're more Tony Soprano or Don Draper? Or maybe Walter White? Soprano.
Probably.
Tony Soprano, I always liked about him.
Because he's not educated.
Oh, wow. That's very vulnerable of you to say.
Well, he's a bully.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is all that stuff. Yeah, but like he does business stuff that thinks 3 moves ahead. Yeah. Because you have to do that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You got no fucking idea what it takes to be number 1. Every fucking facet, every decision you make affects every fucking thing else.
I'm telling you, you were fucking Will Ferrell.
But that's you as Tony Soprano, man.
Yeah. And I think Soprano was a critically flawed character.
Yes, he was.
And Don Draper was too.
That's what he's supposed to be.
Right. But
both written by the same guys, Matt Weiner and David Chase.
Oh, I didn't even realize
Matthew Weiner, who wrote some of the best Soprano episodes, created Mad Men.
What did you like better, Mad Men or
Sopranos? That's the best show on TV. I love Mad Men because it enables me to drink at 3 p.m. and to cheat on my girlfriend if I had one.
Are you dating anyone now?
No, my ex used to come here all the time during COVID.
Who?
You were very good to her. I call her Voldemort. I'm not going to say her name, but she came all the way during COVID and used to always take great care of her. And then she broke up with me about 4 months ago. But some people threw out the golden ticket in Willy Wonka, I assume, and so did she.
You should take a picture of the check tonight.
I do every week. Every week. I started the one from last week, too. Just to be like, from Vinnie to me.
What a lot of comics do from this club, I think it's so special.
Is hit their wives.
It touches my heart.
Yes.
No, it really does. It makes me feel, this is one of those things that a lot of guys are doing, that it makes me know that they appreciate the club. A lot of guys, the first time they headline in and they get a big check, they don't cash it. They just, they frame it. Which I'm not putting any pressure on you. You do what you think is right.
I took a picture so I could frame it. I won't lie. I did just cash the check from last week's stress.
God damn it!
So Vinny's going to be like, fuck. There's where my $400 went.
Oh, my balls.
No, seriously. I know I'm trying to wrap it up and everything. Of all the club owners and everything, there's always like, you know what it's like dealing with agents and managers, whatever, and like talent, whatever. This is the first stop in the tour where like, anytime there was a problem with anything, I was like, all I gotta do is text Vinny. It's fine. Like, you guys gotta stop worrying about it because I know I have a personal relationship with you.
Who's your RA at WME?
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But I learned.
It's a good team.
Great team. They're very good.
Good
team.
People
at WB have taken nothing but great care of me, and they've been fantastic. But also, I learned that because I used to edit your podcast as well. I watch you talk to DL, Hughley, or Wanda, or any of these people that you would have on talking to them, and you're like a conversational Barry Katz. You know, like I talk to Barry, and it's like Obi-Wan who was raped by Shaggy. And like Barry will just sit there and look at you with cold dead eyes. And it's like, oh, that's cool, bro. When is it my turn to talk? Vinny and I always had the relationship where like, if we didn't cut it off, we would be here until the next time I'm headlining this club. Because of the fact that we both understand where our place is in the universe. And this is probably the most humble club owner and restaurateur that I just learned today, Victoria's. I had the best piece of cheesecake ever. Didn't even upset my IBS. But truly it comes from, and I think it's just because what I know about you and why Batman is my favorite superhero. Batman has one power. You don't give up. You didn't give up.
No.
You think about
Thank you.
what you told me about what it took for you to create this room and then to create a second room. And I know you were somebody who was always actively looking at expansion. I'm inspired not only by that, but also inspired by when I watch you go up on stage. Most club owners suck at comedy. That's why they're club owners. Vinny's a rare breed of the two, right?
Thanks.
Where like you can put him on anywhere. You can have him open, you can have him middle, and you can have him keep the lights on at the goddamn place. And I know I've said a lot to pontificate and compliment you, and I'm probably a little uncomfortable, but I mean every single word of it.
Yeah,
This man has taken care of me in ways that nobody else ever has, and this is the best club to work at. Of all the places I've done in the tour this year, and I've been on tour every single week since February, this has been the most fun I've had these last 2 weeks.
It means so much to me.
Truly.
And I really do mean this from the bottom of my heart. Watching you on stage, you're lightning quick, you're fun, you're having fun.
Thank you.
I see a huge, huge future for you. And I saw that a long time ago. And it doesn't make me a visionary because anybody with a brain can look at what you're doing and know you're loving it and that you're good at it. I really can't wait to see how far you go. I think it'll be an amazing career for you. So please, like, let's say you're in a situation and you go, I don't know, just pick up the phone and ask me, Vinny,
Vinny, what do I do here?
Yeah.
And then you go, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you something. I can't tell the whole story because I don't like to tell these stories. But there was one instance.
That's why I love him, because there have been several times where we're like, we can't say full name.
Yeah. This happened to me one time.
Happened?
One time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the story off camera. But I remember in that situation, and it wouldn't have been cancelable. It would have been problematic for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sitting there and I go, And I did not do what was offered. And it's amazing because I think back on it all the time. And I think, well, if I ever had that moment that I said no was a character thing for me, but also it was I don't want that in my life. Now I think back, if I ever had my moment, if I ever hit, what's my most cancelable thing? All right. Is it Thailand? What happened in Thailand? Is it?
He went there with way more money than he did come back with kids.
Oh man. And the ointments that you just, there's some great ointments.
Grasshopper goes right to your asshole, through the taint, right out the cock.
Yeah. Well, I think my most cancelable moments, I think all the people that were involved in it are dead. And so I think I'm okay. I think I'm in the clear. And, but I haven't had an interesting enough life.
Oh, that's not true.
To have cancelable moments.
Oh, okay. Well, I also don't think you're a bigot either, and you know how to talk to people in a way that you know where it's joking, and you know where it's joking where it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt
for no
anybody.
reason. You know, you like those drunk girls that were in the audience tonight. I started to hurt them for a reason because they wouldn't shut up.
But it was so much fun.
And they still took pictures with me.
Can I tell you something? I was right. Did you know I was sitting behind them?
No.
Okay, so I came and sat behind them to make them be quiet.
Yes.
And I was not successful. There was no quieting them down.
That's a clip.
They're
very
very
to
hard.
intimidate them, and they told me to be quiet.
You know who got them quiet?
Patty.
The angry girl.
Oh, yeah. The one next to them. Yeah.
She's turning, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah, man.
There was only 1 second where you told them to be quiet. And I thought, oh, they just got mad at him. And then 6 seconds later, the girl said something like, he's so cute or something. And I'm like, this guy's getting away with murder. He's shitting all over them and they love him.
They love, because people, I mean, they're doing that to give me a hard time. And also, it's like, every comic that you see that's on this wall here, they all started off doing check spots or hosting and performing at the worst of the worst spots. And that was the best 5 minutes of their day, 10 minutes of their day, right? And I can get mad at them all day long. It's like road rage. You're driving and then somebody cuts you off and then you get so angry that you think, I'm going to fucking shoot this guy in the back of the head and I'm justified because your brain was doing one thing. What? You ready? You ready to
never
move?
had that thought.
I've been on the phone with him where he's like, anyway, Trump won the election. Fuck you, asshole! Fucking Asian women drivers.
Troy,
Anyway, Troy.
I need you to remember this, okay? When you want to shoot someone,
Yeah.
this is when you call me. Because that is cancelable.
Unless you're the baby. He killed someone.
Troy, your agent, we can't finish the film. No, you murdered. You murdered.
Murdered 4 people because Vinnie couldn't get on the horn quick enough. And he was left talking to Patty. And Patty said, just fucking do it. Who gives a shit?
You don't murder somebody.
Never.
No, because that will definitely.
They frown upon that, the courts, from what I understand.
Have you ever been in a bad fight, by the way?
Yeah, I got 6 people jump me outside a Broadway Comedy Club once, like in 2015. They were all from Louisiana, and they were heckling the whole show. And when the club manager, right before I went on stage, this woman grabbed my arm and she said, "These people ruined my whole night." And I took that as like an S on my chest, and I went on stage. I was like, "You guys from Louisiana? Huh? More people should have drowned during Katrina." Whatever. I was just saying horrible shit. And then after the show, they were trying to fight me, and the club manager was like, "Go downstairs," because he knew I was going to try to fight them back. Because they were like, "There's 6 of us and 1 of you."
You're tough.
I mean, yeah, I'm a black belt, but also I'm delusional. And they were like, "There's 6 of us and 1 of you." I was like, "It's 6 more guys. That'd be a fair fight." And then he was like, "Go downstairs." And I went downstairs, and I was watching on a security camera. They punched the manager. I went up with the bar back. The bar back is a 4-foot-tall Mexican dude doing this shit. He looked like the Boston Celtics logo.
That's great.
And he's backing him up, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And he's in front. I got a front and I got a follow. I'm in the middle. The front is backing those motherfuckers up, right back to the border that he crossed. And I'm in the middle being like, "Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers?" And then my friend was behind me being like, "Guys, oh, geez, Rick, I'm a pacifist. I don't want to get into a fight." And they go to throw a punch at him, and I see him not realizing a punch is coming, and I grab him, move him out the way. Guy punches his own girlfriend in the mouth. Tooth comes out, blood everywhere. Red flag goes up in my head. I grab the bar back. I throw him into the club. I grab my friend, throw him into the club, get everybody inside. They call the cops on us. Cops show up. They told the cops that I punched the girl's mouth out.
Oh, no shit.
Cops look at my knuckles. They look at the guy's knuckle. They see there's no scratch marks. There's no nothing. They look at the guy's hands and they go, "Yeah, you punched your own girlfriend, dog. You should have gone home. And what do you want us to do? Arrest this guy?" And she just goes, "Officer, can you just help me find my tooth?"
Oh, my God.
Which they never did, but the barback did. And he wears it as a necklace to this day. One of her bottom row teeth. I call him shark bait to this day. Ooh, ha, ha.
That's great.
The best. I mean,
You're
like,
a black belt.
I'm a black belt, and a black belt knows how to not fight.
Right.
You know, like, I would rather, it's easier to go into a heckler situation where if they say something, you just take it and it's just a keto. Right. You know, you just move it back.
What's your
I trained in karate, jiu-jitsu, aikido, and savate.
And what are
5
your
different
black belts
Hemzi Ketsuke karate, which is a combination of those 5 different styles.
That's where you're a black belt.
Karate, jiu-jitsu, aikido, savate, and
this
judo.
Is fascinating because this is why too. I was going to fight you.
I was hoping for it. That's why we have that pool of mud right outside of this door. I thought we were going to wrestle.
No, I don't want to fight.
I loosened my asshole up for no reason. What do you make me pay a corking fee for then? God damn it.
Are you a dirty fighter?
I lick ass. I'm not a dirty fighter. I'm a logistical fighter. If a fight with me lasts longer than 7 seconds, I fucked up. I'm not going to fight you. You go to swing at me. Dudes love to fight. They love to punch the head.
Right.
Here's the thing. I'm going to see you swing at me. I'm 6'4", and I'm pretty. This is the one asset I have. If I see you coming for my face, I'm going to see you get on the step ladder first. You know, like, and also, you go to punch at me, I'm going to grab your thumb and knuckles, fingers to palm, and be like, punch me one more time, and I'm going to break your elbow in 3 different places.
Wait, so I go to punch you. What are you going to do?
Grab my X-block your ass, grab your thumb, knuckles, fingers to palm, make sure you're not going to hit me again. Go ahead. We can do it on camera.
Right.
Do it in slow motion.
Please don't hurt me.
No. I'm not going to. No, this is my uncle. I'm not going to do anything. If you go to punch me, if I were to, now I'm going to show everybody my defense technique. This is what's called the X-block. Right here. All right? Right here. This is called your right hand on top. This is my dominant. I don't know if you're righty or lefty. I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab it right here, first of all. Then you're going to go punch me with left, and you can't, because by the time you do, I'm going to put my right thumb on your knuckles, fingers in the palm, and then I got him right here. You see this? Now, right here, Vinnie don't feel shit. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. You felt that torque? That's called a keto. That's only the first part. Once I got you here, then I got your elbow. Then I got your elbow down with your wrist. And then go ahead, punch me again. Knee right to the fucking face. You're not going to get me. You know? If I work smarter, not harder. I do the same thing with crowd work when somebody wants to heckle me. I'm not going to get into a fist fight face to face to face. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to go, touch me again, and you're gonna feel that ooh, and then they let go, and then they are like, oh, we love to heckle him because we want to suck his dick from behind. You know, like that's truly what it is. The more serious you take yourself when you get heckled, the more of a dork you look like.
Yeah.
It's like getting into a YouTube comment fight. You know,
Yes.
like. I just want to be like, I don't even read the comments for that reason. And I don't turn off my comments because I feel like they had to listen to me. I'll let them say whatever they want to. I'm just not going to read it. It's like a woman I'm sleeping with sent me a 2-paragraph long, why don't you answer my text paragraph? And it's like the congratulations or I'm sorry, but I'm not reading that whole paragraph.
So I do, this is what I do. Someone will say something negative and I will write back to them.
Yeah.
But frequently I will write back stuff like, I feel so sorry for you. I'm really sorry. You know, I know you're hurting, and I'll give them therapy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them I'm here for you, and then they'll go back at me, and I'll go back again. I'm like, no, I'm really here for you, and I will literally tell them how much I care about them, and it's total.
I've seen you do that. That's why I'm laughing. I've seen you do that on the. You were doing a video where you were trying to sell bags outside of.
Yeah,
it's so fucking funny.
For me, it's just so much fun.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that video where he's like, he has a trench coat and he's like, I got plastic bags, right?
Because New Jersey made, you were there, weren't you? You filmed it. So the bags were illegal. Yes, but if someone makes a negative comment, to me, first of all, it drives the video.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go back and forth. Now, I just had a guy going back and forth and back and forth. Now, he was getting very nasty. But the nastier he got, I just kept writing. Well, I just kept writing. I know you're trying hard to matter. I know you're hurting. You know, I'm here for you. And eventually he just stopped because he either figured it out or he's like, I can't be mad. This is the other thing. And we can end here if you want because I'll talk to you all night long.
We could.
But
he's coming back to the hotel room.
That I want to teach you and everyone that's watching.
Please.
What?
No. Please teach him.
This is something you have to know.
Yes.
Because you're an internet guy. I'm trying to be an internet guy.
Right.
I went on Zappos looking for shoes. I started telling you yesterday.
Yeah.
I went on Zappos.
Yeah, right.
And Zappos started sending me ads.
Yes.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Now Zappos, I didn't want the boots. It was boots. And I ended up buying the boots at Allen Edmonds. Allen Edmonds makes an unbelievable boot. And they will fit the boot to you. It's not.
Oh, wow. Because you have a farm and stuff. You do man shit.
I do man shit.
Yeah.
But these are dress boots.
Dress boots.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. That's how much of a man.
But I did man shit today, as a matter of fact.
In these shoes?
No, in boots.
In boots.
They're covered in mud. Man shit.
You got them John Wayne 12s.
Oh, let me tell you. I did
little Pilgrim.
Man shit.
Man shit.
So I bought
the shit out of the bar backs.
Yeah. You got to come to the farm sometime.
I would love to.
You live where?
I have eggs from Brand Farms. I've had them. They're delicious.
Wait, you live where?
My exact address is I live in Lower East Side, Manhattan.
Okay, so you're going to come to dinner.
I'll come to anytime.
I would love that.
You gave me a carton of eggs from Brand Farms. I don't know if you remember from COVID. They were the best eggs I've had.
There's some killer eggs.
From Vinnie's farm.
Yes. Now, they're back to Zappos.
Yes, Zappos.
They're sending me ads every day.
Every day.
Every day.
We're talking about the click.
And I click on the ad because it costs them $1. And I click. But
That's so
I had already bought the boots. And I clicked so often that eventually the CEO of Zappos said to the ad department, stop sending Vinnie Brand ads. He's fucking with us. And that's how I get even with the internet world. By being nice to
them and then cutting it off.
Clicking on ads.
Vinnie lives in his own world that balances out and makes sense. And this is how I'll say my last tidbit about Vinnie. I remember one of your managers was telling me once years ago, and you were going to be able to figure out who this is, and it doesn't matter. But she was like, I don't know what his problem is, but one day he just came into the back and he started clearing shit out of file cabinets. And we're all like, what the fuck is Vinnie doing? And they're telling me the story, trying to make you sound like the bad guy. And I was like, no, it sounds like the boss was cleaning house there for a second. Just like throwing shit around, moving around, being like, okay, whatever you're doing wasn't working. Someone's got to step in and do it. Because if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. There's so many cameras I set up around in here. I got to be kind of addicted to my openers half the time. Be like, we got to do it this way, we do it that way, do it this way, do it that way. Because if we don't do it that way, we don't sell out shows. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to, I'm not saying Hitler was right, but I'm saying he was a good leader.
Sometimes you gotta be Tony Soprano.
Sometimes you're Tony Soprano, And you know what? Tony made it through all 6 seasons of Sopranos, and then it cut to black.
Was it only 6?
6. 7 if you the last season was season 6A, 6B. And I remember when the last episode aired, 2007, I was upstairs in my bedroom and it cuts to black and my dad came upstairs and he started beating our ass because he thought we were fucking with the cable box. He was like, I've been watching this show for 8 goddamn years and you two just fucked it up. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. We've been up here learning how to masturbate. And like, and I had the same exact feeling watching Sopranos the first time, which was right before I came to Vinnie's club. And every time I'm here, I feel like I'm 10% Italian.
This guy's going to be a major star. That's Troy Bond, who I love. And
that is Ryan Seacrest, who is 42.
I see the resemblance.
Oh, I'm not Ryan. I'm not even Billy Seacrest, his failed brother. But you.
That is a deep cut.
Let me tell
I
you.
love that. Okay, yeah. How you sleep-wise?
No, you're going to be a monster.
Oh, thank you.
You're already a monster. You're going to be a huge star. I love you for coming in here. And when you're ready, you come back here anytime you want.
And you'll teach me how to drive?
Hmm?
You'll teach me how to drive?
I would love to teach
I don't have a license. I need someone to teach me.
You really don't.
Why do you think I bring Tori with me? Because she's funny?
You are funny. But you're a better driver, according to Troy.
Yes, much better than me.
I'm a really good driver.
I want to teach you how to drive.
Hey, listen, Helen Keller is not a great crossing guard as you would be.
No, she's not.
Different skill levels.
Troy, can I teach you how to drive?
Please.
Oh, I'm going to teach you how
You'd
to
be the literal deaf leading the blind. I want that.
Oh, I'm teaching you. I'm a great driver.
Please.
I
know you are.
I can't hear horns.
He doesn't see women. It's great.
It's going to be great.
That's what I want. I've seen you drive a fucking tractor with your daughters in it.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos.
You've seen everything.
I would trust this man with my life.
Troy, I trust you in my life. And I'm going to tell you something I want in the movie.
Yes.
This is Troy Bond.
You're in it. This is Vinnie Brand. My father's favorite. I love you. Thank you for such a great weekend.
Thank you.
Let's get us in one frame so we can tell I'm his one half black friend. I love you, man. Thank you for letting me do that. That was the best part of my night. Getting to talk to somebody I actually wanted to talk to.